Today we're covering a couple critical topics for anyone who's involved in athletics or fitness. These topics are overtraining and overtraining syndrome. While they're related, they're not exactly the same thing, so we're going to talk about their similarities, their differences, and we'll conclude with some tips and tricks to keep you training hard while avoiding these conditions. First up is overtraining. Simply put, overtraining is an imbalance between training and recovery. The body has simply been pushed beyond its ability to recover in the time that it was given. Imagine a balance scale. On one side, you have your training volume and intensity, and then on your other side, you have recovery, like sleep and nutrition, and just in general time. When the scale tips too far one way, and the recovery side can't rebalance it in time, all of a sudden we start having that imbalance, and that overtraining really starts to take hold. Overtraining isn't just being fatigued after a workout or sore the following day. It's a buildup over time. It's typically the result of excessive exercise without enough time to repair and rebuild. It can happen from a training block of overreaching being taken too far, or from undersleeping and underfueling. The following are some common signs of overtraining, especially if multiple are present. First up, we have persistent fatigue. This can be the normal morning grogginess not going away or taking a lot longer to go away. This can be having difficulty waking up in the morning for people who are normally morning people. This can be feeling tired at random parts of the day when you normally don't, but that kind of falls into a pattern of this happening. Or it can just be an overall feeling of having less than normal energy levels. Another common sign of overtraining is prolonged muscle soreness. Now, you know your body best, and you know how long it typically takes the soreness from a workout to go away and how sore a normal workout would make you. If we're using a similar training volume and intensity to what we typically do, and all of a sudden we're getting new soreness, or that soreness takes a lot longer than normal to go away, it's usually a sign that our body is telling us that something's not quite right. Often we see an uptick in minor injuries in people who are overtrained. These can be new joint pain without really any specific cause of injury or minor muscle tweaks. They can also be the creeping in of overuse injuries in people who don't tend to be prone to them, or people who have had them in the past but had them kept at bay for quite some time. And we also see greater acute injuries happen in these individuals as well. As we get to those more severe symptoms, we start to see irritability, changes in appetite, changes in sleeping patterns, and an increase in heart rate. If not addressed, these symptoms can turn into overtraining syndrome, or OTS. This is a more severe form of overtraining that is diagnosed by a medical professional, typically through a consult and then blood work or a urine analysis. While overtraining can be remedied with adequate rest, good nutrition, and usually a reduction in training load, OTS is a chronic condition that can take weeks, months, and sometimes even years to recover from. Overtraining syndrome is typically characterized by prolonged plateaus or declines in performance, severe fatigue, and actual physiological changes. True overtraining syndrome causes changes to the nervous system. We're kind of stuck in a chronic sympathetic state, meaning that fight or flight mode. It often requires medical intervention and a very structured recovery plan. Along with the symptoms listed above, OTS can include changes in hormone regulation in both men and women, an impaired immune system usually displayed in more frequent illnesses, changes in heart rate, blood pressure, and pulmonary function, mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, or unusual mood swings, an increase in injuries such as stress fractures, tendinitis, sprains, strains, cartilage damage, or idiopathic joint pain, weight loss or loss of appetite, and that extreme chronic fatigue often paired with insomnia or an inability to get a good night's sleep despite following good sleep hygiene protocols. So what can we do to prevent overtraining or address those early warning signs before they turn into OTS? To start, follow the basics of progressive overload. Be very intentional and gradual in how you choose to increase your intensities and volumes. In basic planning, we tend to recommend no more than a 10% change from week to week. By following a plan, when you start to feel those early warning signs creep in, you can drop back to a week that you were easily able to tolerate, or take a deload week and then hop into a week that you tolerated well. Number 2, always include rest days or active recovery days, and don't be afraid to move them around to meet the needs of your week. Light cardio, easy yoga, foam rolling, and stretching are great options when you want to get some movement in for the day, but you're not up to a true workout. Number 3, stay hydrated and maintain a balanced diet. Protein is necessary for recovery and growth. Carbohydrates are the body's favorite fuel source during exercise, and fats are required to maintain normal hormone balances as well as other bodily functions. Eating a variety of fruits and vegetables is a great way to get in your micronutrients like your vitamins and your minerals. A few supplements can be helpful to fill in the gaps where you might be lacking, or if you've been medically diagnosed with a deficiency in something. Other than that, supplements should not be the base of any nutrition plan. And if you're looking for resources, the MyPlate website, I'll link it below, has some really great tools for helping people create balanced nutrition plans. And number 4, probably the most underutilized recovery tool, is sleep. Most people know the general recommendation of 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, but active people can actually benefit from increasing that time frame. The second part of this is the amount of time we spend in bed doesn't always equate to the amount of time that we're actually truly asleep, as a lot of people, whether they're conscious or unconscious about it, will wake up a few times during the night. So even if we're in bed asleep for 7 hours, we might really only be getting 6 to 6.5 hours of sleep each night. If you do find yourself or an athlete that you're close to in a state of what seems like overtraining, don't be afraid to contact a medical professional. It's better to find out and get on top of it sooner than later. Remember, exercise and fitness is a lifelong journey. If what you're doing right now isn't sustainable or healthy, it can actually impede your ability to reach those athletic or fitness goals. If you found this content helpful, please subscribe to the Iron Darling for more exercise education. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!